Good morning, one and all present over here. I am Nandana and my thesis topic is Kuchipudi Natyaramam at Kuchipudi Village, Krishna District, Andhra Pradesh. This is a project by Government of Andhra Pradesh. The 300-year-old village have a story of a 2000-year-old dance form that is now losing its glow. An US-based organization joins hand with Andhra Pradesh government to promote Kuchipudi under the Natyaramam project. When we trace the history of Kuchipudi village, it is Kushalavapuri, a 257-hectare area where the dance form Kuchipudi was born. It was created in the 15th century by Siddhendra Yogi. The performances was done in temples, royal courts and cultural centers, and this performance won the king's heart, and this made the king gift this area, that is the Kuchipudi village, to the Kuchipudi dancers, and hence the word Kushalavapuri was changed to Kuchipudi village. The project Kuchipudi Natyaramam has emerged with four main objectives. 1. To amalgamate Gurukul tradition and contemporary way of teaching in the same complex. 2. An effort to provide a holistic environment close to nature, establishing a harmony in teaching traditions, spaces and lifestyles. 3. Use of waterfront for recreational and cultural aspects. 4. To create a responsive architecture designed to a holistic, historically sensitive area. The government built Natyaramam with the intention that the people who visit, the elders should feel that they need to get their youngsters take up Kuchipudi, and youngsters should feel that they must imbibe the arts. The main requirement for the International Institute of Kuchipudi is a museum, performing arts center, library, hall of fame, seminar halls, open air stages and other sophisticated multimedia and digital technologies. When we look into the people of Kuchipudi village, the main occupation of the people are, some are farmers, some are dancers, and some make their living by making dance accessories.
There are some existing site features in the site, that is the main water body. The main water body is present in the site. It can act as a relaxation space and can be used for recreational value. The area is less contoured so that the building can be designed in any manner. The soil is black soil and some different foundations are used. The vegetation found as heavy foliage trees that are rare but are filled by coconut trees and are placed at the periphery of the site. The roads existing are not of concrete or bitumen base. The entry and exit points are not defined properly, and it can create an opportunity to create a grand entry. The high sound intensity are seen in areas abutting the road. The public facilities and parking can be provided in these spaces, and library can be provided away from here. The arrangement of building facing the water body creates more quality spaces. Natural phenomena such as passive cooling can be acquired through such designs, making the building more suitable. The design parameters are based on the Andhra Pradesh building rules. The building falls on the B2 category with different setbacks, wall heights and parking facilities. The glimpse of site gives us the two major axes, the settlement pattern and the development pattern. The site possesses many strengths such as the historic importance, presence of rich soil and the effort taken by the government. There are weaknesses such as annoyance from dust during weather, insufficient water facilities and existing facilities. A remote area is to set up an institution and demands more publicly to its proper functioning. The opportunity is that this area is large enough to locate many facilities. Chance of water related activities provides an opportunity for the villagers itself for a larger growth. The fertile soil supports the growth of different variety of vegetation. Large and vacant areas complicates the security of the site that gives the site a threat. The shortage of existing public transport system from major towns and cities can also act as a threat to the project. The two case studies that I have dealt with is Kalakshetra Chennai and Natyaramam Bangalore. Kalakshetra was founded by Rukmini Devi Arundale, and it is an art and cultural academy dedicated to the preservation of cultural values. The reason for the selection of case study is that it is one of the early dance institutes that flourished gradually, meeting the needs of the century. It gives a complete idea of different types of spaces needed for a dance institute. It is located in 40 hectares involvement of many architects during the stages of development. It was completed in 1965 and the main function is to train students in the field of music and arts and provide general education. The spaces evolved in this institute are classrooms, performance spaces, gathering spaces, prayer halls, dining halls, hostels, guest houses, etc. It provides diploma and post-diploma courses. Natyaramam Bangalore was founded by an Odissi dancer Prantima Gauri. It is India's first modern Gurukul for Indian classical dancers. The reason for the selection of the case study is that the institute follows the traditional way of Gurukul system that is to be integrated in the project. It also is spread on 40 hectares involving Gurukul's temples, yoga halls, amphitheaters, admin block, service block, guest houses and cottages. Courses are training in Kathak, Bharatanatyam and Odissi. Coming to the site layout, Kalakshetra has an organic layout with roads surrounding the entire complex and the entire campus is a walled community. The campus is fully motorable, but the visitors' vehicles are not allowed into the campus. The visitors' parking is provided at the entry itself. The entire campus is pedestrianized. Visitors are not allowed to the residential zone. Coming to the entry, it is not so grand, so it could not be seen or identified easily between the trees and the heavy traffic roads. In case of Natyaramam Bangalore, it also follows an organic layout on either side of the road. The institute is open to the context. Though far away from the main road, the institute have a grand entry that portrays the lifestyle inside the campus. The circulation of the campus is more environmental friendly with little paved pathways. There are connections to the utility building. Visitors are preferred to walk in and around the campus. From here, as an inference, in site layout, both the campus have an organic site layout that make it difficult for a visitor to navigate through the campus. The entrance of the institute have a grand entry that portrays the function and life of the user group. In case of circulation, hardscaping is more convenient at the institute to define the main pathway. The secondary pathways can be of the actual terrain along with landscape, which gives a sense of designed pathway. A performance area is the main soul of an performing arts institute. In Kalakshetra, there is an auditorium with a raised platform with wooden walls and which allows the breeze through. The dressing rooms are available for the artists in the ground floor. The stage area is 45% of the audience area. It is like a proscenium theatre. No pillar is there to obstruct the view of a viewer. In the case of Natyaramam Bangalore, the open-air theatre is located at the end of the campus at a silent zone. The building material is stone and clay. The seating is arranged to accommodate 400 people at a time. There is a raking of the seat to provide proper vision. The stage is of two different parts, a closed and an open part. The stage is raised from the floor level. As an inference, the performance space are the most important part in a dance institute. Both of the institute represents two different types of performance spaces, the indoor and the outdoor. The building materials and the dimensions goes well with the current context and the user group, making it a responsive architecture. Every building must be in relation with the existing context for its optimum functioning. Another key factor that acts as a focal point in the center of the campus of Kalakshetra is the banyan tree. Outdoor classes are conducted under this banyan tree. The sound is buffered with the help of the tree itself. There is also a prayer hall situated separately further beyond the classroom in complete quiet area. It accommodates 180 people. In Natyaramam, temple fashioned from the raw mud and the Natyaramam are fired after it was built. The temple is dedicated to the space. It have motifs and many ornamentations. It also have an yoga center to Stonehenge, an open structure attached to temple, sometimes used for performances. As an inference, the main requirement in every institute is a place for mental refreshment, but makes the day of a student. It also must be more effective to provide a wide and healthy gathering space along with proper yoga halls. The classrooms in Kalakshetra are in forms of cottages. There are small units located around the banyan tree, which are mostly single-roomed. They have verandas and space for placement of things. The acoustical privacy does not matter because the huts are placed at a good distance from each other and they do not carry a sound to the next classroom. Even the little sound that might travel are taken care of by the trees around. In Natyaramam Bangalore, a Gurukul system is followed. A hall attached with residence of teacher is used for teaching Odissi and Mohiniyattam Gurukuls. It have closed walls with small openings only for ventilation and light is from the courtyard. Kathak Gurukuls have semi-open arched walls. These four elements are gathered around a courtyard which becomes the central gathering point with the stair to the roof can be used as an element to sit and watch the activity at the practice hall. Guru's house have a private spillover to the east. Practice halls have large spans with a palm-thatched roof. From this, that as an inference, two types of classrooms can be identified based on different concepts. Both can be included in a single campus in future and can be carefully planned, and it can be worked well. Both the campuses produce residences. Hostel rooms are the residential areas and the most frequently are intimately used spaces, and it provides a very positive effect when clubbed with nature. There are many gathering spaces provided in Kalakshetra, such as around the banyan tree, around the Padma Pushkarani, pavilions, and other features such as bench that can be included in landscape. In Natyaramam, Bangalore, gathering space are found along with the prayer halls and the OAT regions. The building materials used in Kalakshetra are brick, concrete, wood, and roof tiles. These are different buildings with different materials, and the campus evolved through years. Building materials at Natyaramam, Bangalore are mud and stone. The use of locally available building materials and the uniformity of the style and color indicates the building are built in the same time period. Building materials and style play an important role for the response of the building to its context. It can also used to give an identity to the building. The building heights. The auditorium building stands as an iconic structure to the whole institute in case of Kalakshetra. The uniformity of the structures of the institute make it difficult to identify the individual building. All are unified by the exterior of the building in a similar pattern. In case of Natyaramam, Bangalore, there are no iconic buildings that give an identity to the campus. All the buildings are themselves an identity with different forms. The main factor that group them together are the color and the same building material. As an inference for every project, it is necessary to give importance to each and every building, but at the same time, they must give an unifying factor. Coming to concept and zoning, the site is surrounded by residences in two sides and open ground on the other two sides. The institute is oriented and zoned based on the existing conditions, the orientation of the village and the major landmark present. The two main visible axes of the village are the roads, and the two axes can be taken as a replica into the site. Featuring the major landmarks are the pond, Natya Pushkarani, and the temple, Ramalingeshwara Swami temple. The temple have a close connection with the dance form since the performance takes place in front of the temple. So the orientation of the major performance spaces goes in with the orientation of the temple. Next factor is the grid pattern. The new settlement in the village are based on a grid pattern that can be replicated into the site so that it goes along with the new development. Zoning. Exploring the dance from the dance form results in the division of art into four factors that can be spatially converted and used for the visual exploration, such as Vajiga can be used for Vajiga, that is speaking, can be represented as classrooms. Agariga, that is costumes, can be represented as residences. The Satviga can be, that is the performance spaces, can be represented as auditoriums. When coming to the context of the site, the institute accommodates public, semi-public and private spaces. The public spaces are oriented to the existing entry for easy circulation and access. The core area of the institute is the academic block, and the practice space are zoned with respect to the existing water body. Hostels are located apart from the semi-public zone. The main axis based on two entrances. One axis gives a view to the entire campus and the other one gives the character of the campus. The main axis is through the water body and the kiosk. The auditorium and the exhibition spaces are located at the public zone and accessible from the two entries. In the site layout, the buildings are arranged in a grid of 5 by 5 following the two major axis. One axis have all the different typologies, that is the auditorium, academic block, administrative block, etc. on one side, and it terminates on the Gurukul. And the other is through the water body that terminates at the kiosk. Kiosk and academic block are placed with reference to the water body. Gurukul is placed apart to give a privacy to the students and teachers. Students and faculty accommodations and the faculties are accommodated to a more farther area with a separate entry from the road. The auditorium and the admin block are treated near the area of entry for easy access of the public. Separate parking are provided for the public buildings such as the auditorium block and the administrative block, and separate parking for the academic block. Sloping roofs are used throughout to merge the context and to have an uniformity. The existing vegetation is the coconut trees on the periphery of the site, and the pathways are covered with heavy foliage trees that act as shading devices. Shrubs are also provided as landscape elements with paved pathways. There are high mast lights provided at various points. Vehicular and pedestrianized entries are segregated along the campus. Sewage tanks are provided near the student accommodation and the Gurukul facility. The core design of this concept is the Gurukul system, and it provides an exclusive area for the PhD students and with student accommodation, faculty accommodation, and the classrooms, which are all integrated within a boundary. There are 40 students and 8 faculties, including 2. Accommodation is provided separately for students and teachers. Students are accommodated differently with boys and girls, and the faculties are provided with facilities for family accommodation. The accommodation, the practice space, and the classrooms are interconnected so as it gives a private space to both the students and the faculties. The next is the main block, that is the academic block. It is placed in proximity to the water body present. There are classrooms provided with both practice space and learning space at the same area. Less number of furniture is used so that there is less movement of furniture to make the practice space more wider. There is also a library facility provided for the entire campus to this academic building. Along with the staff room facilities and the yoga space, there it provides spaces for the following courses, that is 3-year bachelor degree courses, 2-year post-graduation courses, and 1 year of MPhil courses. The ground floor have a walkthrough to the ground, but in the first and the second floor, the building is interconnected so that there is easy movement of students and faculties between the 2 wings of the institute. The next is the accommodation block. The student accommodation and faculty accommodation are provided separately. The student accommodation is placed at the farthest point. It consists of both male and female accommodation in a single building, which is interconnected with the common space of dining at the middle of the floor. It provides separate accommodation for different programs at different wings. That is, the PG students and the UG students are segregated even in the campus to give them an intimacy between the batchmates. Room sharing is provided with 3 people at a room with common spaces such as dining table, laundry area, and hall for studies. There is also common toilet facilities at each floor. To provide more security, different entry points for girls and boys are provided at the 2 different wings. Next is the faculty accommodation. Here it consists of living units for the faculties of the institution. It is based on 2 BHK living units and are designed so that the faculties with families can accommodate as well, but each can be used as room sharing on the basis of different types of requirements. For every single living unit, 2 bedrooms, a hall, a kitchen, and a dining space along with a toilet is provided. A balcony space is provided in each and every living unit. The roofing system provided is the sloping roof system. It can act as a rainwater harvesting system that can channel the rainwater to a single point and also goes with the context and the rest of the building. The next is the auditorium block. The auditorium block is provided with a seating capacity of 600 people at a time that are provided at 2 levels. It also consists of a common lobby with a cafeteria space that can be used when there are major functions that is happening at the auditorium. There are resting spaces as well as toilet facilities at the auditorium area. The main feature of the roof is that it has sloping roof at different gradients at different levels of the main positioning of the auditorium or the performance space of the institute is with the axis of the Natya Pushkarani and the temple performances. The Green rooms are also provided along with an inference from the case study of Kalakshetra. Next is the administrative block. It consists of the Hall of Fame and other cafeterias like spaces at the ground floor. This cafeteria can act as a common space for the entire campus, and it is accessible for both to the public and the students. The administrative space, it deals with the administration of the institute, and it is located at the first floor of this building. Next is the special topic. My special topic is techniques to reduce sound in outdoor practice spaces. The facilities used are green walls with thick vegetation which helps to absorb the high frequency sound. It also enhances the atmosphere and add green to the existing spaces. This thick flowering plants can also enhance the aesthetics of the area. Then high hedges are also used. Thick hedges are also used to reduce the reflection of sharp sound that causes irritation. Heavy foliage trees are also used to absorb sound. It also provides shade to the area. The kiosk is the main practice area, so this technique is implemented at the side of kiosks. High foliage trees and hedges are provided on side of kiosks to reduce the sound transmission. Seating spaces are also provided in and around the kiosk to give it a relaxation space as well. That's all. Thank you.